Kimu SDC with you here today. And as you can tell, I'm definitely feeling good, but we gotta start it off with a PLH. Peace, love, and happiness with you all day, every day. And today, I want to talk about how the four elements impact our lives. Now, in some philosophies, there's 5 elements, but today we're going to talk about the overall 4 elements. We got earth, water, air, and fire. So, as I say in my videos, a lot of times I always say all is one, we are all one. But in our society, we always have this thing to separate things. So we always see the 4 elements as separate things with our 2 eyes. With our senses, we see the separation between the elements. But I want to inform you today, bring some knowledge, twist your mind a little bit to try to see things a little differently. So I'm gonna start it off with Earth. Gotta start it off with Earth. Number 1, Virgo. I know it's not Virgo season, but I'm always repping the Virgo. That's an Earth sign, so I gotta start it off with myself, not to be selfish. But Earth. What does Earth represent? Earth represents stability, strength. We walk on the earth being grounded, foundation. We walk on the earth most of the time. Sometimes we walk in a house on our floor, but most of the things that we're walking on, some of the things that we're walking on comes from the earth or is made out of the earth. And with that being said, it has some type of correlation into the human body, who we are. In ancient Egyptian times or Kemet times, they saw the woman as the earth. Why so? Because the earth represented that womb of the womb of the woman, where all the nourishment is. But for human beings as a whole, our body is that earth. It is that earth element of us. What do we need to survive? We need those minerals. Where do they come from? They come from the earth. That's where we get our strength from. It's from this body, this vessel that we have. So we got to make sure that we treat the earth accordingly, because if we don't, it gets sick. It becomes brittle. Why does it become brittle, Kimu? Probably because of the fact that we're putting the wrong things into the earth. When we begin to put trash into the earth, we begin to be trash. Well, the earth becomes trash. So we got to make sure that we're always respecting our earth. I know on my journey, the more I got outside, the more I got in tune with nature, especially with the earth itself. I started getting more plants. I started my physical self started feeling so much better, a whole lot better. I felt like I was getting stronger, like I was physically limitless. So get your earth center, get that strength and stability going, so that way that rest, that inertia, that all that potential energy, that's if you think about it, I don't know how many people are really into science or anything, but earth has a lot of potential energy. It seems like it's always at rest, but everything has energy, and it has a lot of potential energy. We got a lot of potential. Most of the time we don't use it, unfortunately. So we gotta get that potential energy, our earth element inside of ourselves, and start getting that energy into and build it up into strength, so that way we just explode like an earthquake and we start shaking worlds for the better, for more positive purposes. Like I'm trying to do with these videos and whenever I go to talk to people. Let's shake that world and build up that energy, build up that potential energy so that way we can escalate to another element. And the next element, number 2, is going to be, what is it going to be, Chemo? We're going to choose water. Water signs. Hey, y'all got a wonderful sign. What does water represent? It represents mutability, the ability to change, spontaneity, being fluid. A lot of times we neglect living in a fluid manner, living in spontaneity because it goes completely against the grain of what a human being is supposed to be. We're supposed to be fluid in the motions that we take. We're supposed to be fluid in life, but we're not. We're resistant. When you think about it, think of yourself as a river. If you're a river and you're flowing, and then somebody drops a rock in there, well, you're going to continue flowing, but the thing is, you now have resistance. And the more rocks you continue to drop in your life being being the river being you begin to, you don't stop. Water never stops. It either continues to go, it's either going to go over, it's going to go around, or it's going to build up, but it's never going to stop. But our fluid nature is what really makes us feel free. I know when I started to surrender to the path that I'm going on, my life began to be way more fluid. I began to flow in directions that I didn't even know where I was going to go. Shoot, I didn't even think that I was going to be a vegan at one point. I thought I was going to be a pescatarian and I was going to stop there. Didn't. And then I became a vegan shortly afterward. So we gotta try and be fluid, get that water element going. What is the prime? What makes up 70% of the body? Water, and that's at least water. When we feel dehydrated, we can't function properly. Why? Because we have water inside of our body. So to make sure that earth element of our nature, that physical aspect of ourself is able to move fluidly, we got to give ourselves some water. We got to hydrate. Why do you think it rains? So the earth can get nourished. Some type of water has to get in there so that way seeds can grow. So that way the rest of the earth can move necessarily to wherever it has to go. So we got to get that water element inside of us, get that going, keep drinking that good water, that nice refreshing water, and maybe even you may become more spontaneous. I know that me living a spontaneous lifestyle has definitely helped me because it allows me to not make so many commitments that maybe I'm not ready for, or maybe I shouldn't be making. It allows me to flow like the river that my life is supposed to be. I'm just chilling in the canoe, waiting for the next turn to come. And then when somebody drops a rock in my river, what do? I just go around it. I'm not bumping. I'm not trying to get a hole in my canoe. And I hope that you're not trying to get a hole in your canoe. So we got to make sure that we definitely hydrate. You got to make sure that we're fluid in our motions. When we create resistance, it makes a lot of trouble. And then once we get fluid, we start swimming with the fishes. Then we got to go to the next element. We got to go to the air. Woo, the air is so important. Why is it so important? Because of the fact that we breathe it. It is our life force. Air is penetrating. That's what air represents, penetration. we when we breathe in that air, what does it do for us? It brings in all of those elements that are needed, like that oxygen, that nitrogen that helps us, that forces us to breathe. All that other stuff. We're not going to talk about the pollutants in the air because, of course, that's just a different element. But the air itself is so great because it is our life force. Without air, we cease to live. And we gotta make sure that we're tying in that air element into our nature. We gotta make sure that we're blowing people away when we go to talk to them. We gotta make sure the air current isn't being stopped. What does air do when it runs into something? Very similar to water. It goes around. It's passive. It's passive energy. Air is passive energy. But it's a hell of a lot of energy, isn't it? I mean, think of a windy day. That wind will blow your umbrella, flip it inside out. We gotta be out here flipping umbrellas inside out. So think about being that air, contributing that air element into your daily life, being penetrating, trying to get people to just breathe, take it easy. I mean, I probably sound like a hippie right there, but once I started understanding that I have that air element inside of me, that I could fly with the birds, be free. I could go somewhere and I could just blow people away. It felt so great because of my presence. My presence, I know along my journey, a lot of people have commended me for being a good speaker. At the time, I wouldn't have thought so. A lot of times I was just winging it. And I was just speaking from the heart. And I realized that when you speak from the heart, you can blow people away so easily because I didn't expect myself to say it. I'm going to say that for number one. But I definitely was getting so many comments like, that was such a great speech that you gave. Oh, I mean, thank you. You know, you got to be thankful. You got to show that love to whomever is affirming that you're doing good things. So, I mean, people were blowing me away by saying that I did such a good job with my speech when I thought that it was just a regular thing. But that's part of the reason why I inspire you to be great, so that we all can be blowing people away. We can all just blow each other away, so that way we can all just be free and fly in the sky. The birds, the butterflies. Yeah, I saw a hawk yesterday. It was some cool stuff. Where I'm at, I don't see too much of those. But hey, they open their wings and they fly, and they got the wind beneath their wings. We gotta get that wind beneath our wings. We gotta get in tune with that air element, so that way we can fly and be limitless. And then once we're limitless, then we begin to dive. We can dive into the fourth element, which is fire. Woo! Woo! Fire. Fire is such a powerful thing. Yeah, it burns. But if you use it in the right way, it can create. Think about fire. What is fire? And when I was in my transition from when I was in my ego into subliming my ego, when I was asking a whole bunch of questions when I was waking up, I always question, what is fire? And fire is nothing but energy. A lot of energy in one space. And with that energy, You get radiance, you get warmth. Think about the sun. The sun is nothing but a ball of energy that just radiates throughout the galaxy, right? Now, when it's a sunny day, it's warm. But think about when that cloud brushes over. It could get a little, depending on what season you're in and what the temperature is, it could get a little chilly. And then we're all outside going like this, trying to get inside so we can get warm. But I know when I decided to allow that fire element inside of me to radiate, when I chose to radiate my energy and use this insurmountable amount of energy that I have and give it to you or person down the street or anybody that I run into, a lot of things started happening for me. We got to make sure that we're getting this fire element, our brightening our light, so that way when it comes time, we can give other people some warmth. I know a lot of times people have come to me just to get some warmth through my words. A lot of people, well, some people felt like my words were pretty cozy. Just like getting on your couch and getting under a blanket when it's like 30 degrees outside. You may need a heat blanket depending on how cold you get. But in those instances, I realized that the things that I do, the things that I say, they can radiate. With fire being a lot of energy, I'm continuously sending out that positive energy, making sure that my fire is always bright. My fire remains kindled and never goes out. We got to make sure that our fire never goes out. Why do we got to make sure the fire never goes out? Because when a fire goes out, the energy goes away. And then when the elements aren't balanced within ourselves, we start to get ill. We got to make sure that that fire and all the rest of the elements are always in tune. We got to make sure that that happens on a regular basis, because what happens, like I said, we begin to cease. We begin to become diseased or diseased, whichever way you want to call it. And I realized that when I actually started incorporating all of these elements into my life began to run a whole lot smoothly, instead of separating them and thinking that these elements are outside of me. No, they're inside of you. They're with you all the time. We just got to act on them. We just got to make sure that they're working together. The entire universe works together, and on this planet, we got all the elements just working together. So let's keep making sure that those elements are working together, because I know when I did, the disease stopped. I really felt balanced. When we begin to, that's definitely what helped balance me, is getting all of my elements together, making sure that they're always working, and being conscious of it. Make sure that you're hydrated, so that way you can flow. So that way the processes that take place within your earth are always going and going correctly. So that way we can maybe digest well. We don't have to worry about joint problems. We don't have to worry about feeling like a robot that needs grease on the elbows. We don't have to worry about that. Make sure that you're breathing correctly. Breathing correctly is super important. Why? Because, like I said, it's our life force. So why would we not want to take in the optimal amount of energy if it is our life force? We got to make sure that we're breathing from the stomach, or even deeper, the tailbone, and then it'll be great. And then we got to make sure that our fire element is always staying kindled. always making sure that we going in, we're moving that wood around in the fire to make sure that it stays lit. And how do you make sure that it stays lit? Heighten your frequency. Love, love, love. I don't know how many times I can express love, but make sure that you're always loving, because when you're always loving, you're always giving out positive energy. As I always say, positive. When you put positive energy out, you get positive energy back. That's how you heighten your frequency. I realized that when I made the choice to heighten my frequency with love, gratitude, I always have energy. Yes, with this physical body definitely needs rest. I get exhausted, but when I always have the energy. Even when I'm tired, even when I'm exhausted, I still feel like that energy is still inside of me. I always feel like I can always let out a woo. But you gotta make sure that you still getting that you're building up that potential, so that way you can let out whatever sound you wish to choose. So, as I said, try to get balance within all of the elements. We got to. That's the only way that we get balance. Try to stop separating them, because they all work as one and they're all one thing. What is that? Energy. Energy, energy, energy. Whether you holding it or you sending it out, it's still energy. That's how we operate. That's how the universe works, on energy. So give out that positive energy. As I always say, be great, be limitless, be strong, be warm, and then we all can have a party. Woo! And then we can all say PLH, peace, love, and happiness with you all day, every day. Kimu SDC with you all day, every day. Peace.